Konnichiwa, Mina. I'm Satoshi Sensei, and I'll be your teacher through this online world. Today's topic is about hiragana. So let's have a review about how to write the hiragana and word to use in it. So we talk about the 46 parts of our hiragana, and let's take a quick visit about these characters. Now, these are the 46 characters that we already discussed in our previous lessons. And this can be read in a different way for some of the hiragana. For example, ha becomes wa, and our head becomes e. Now, let's start first with our first hiragana here with our a. Okay. So how we can remember this one? It's like open your mouth. Okay. So let's try how to write this one. It composed of 3 strokes. Okay. There 1 and going on this line here. So it has 3 strokes in total. Next one is we have for our aka. Okay. Aka. So this one, let's have our first word we have for aka. It's for our red. Then follow with our ari for our an. Then the good morning is actually for asa for morning only. Then we have our aki for autumn, followed with our rain. Then we have blue for our owl. Let's go with our next character. We have our i. Okay, so we can remember that kawaii. Okay. Then it has 2 strokes. So how to write that? 1 stroke. Then we're going to have a jump going up here. Then on the other side. Then there we have our i. So let's take a look how to write the following words. Let's make them in a word series now. Let's have our first word. We have our I for our good. Okay, so like I desu ka? Okay. Then next one we have our isi for our chair, and for our hi for our polite form of hi yes. Then oishi, okay, and our ika for sleep. Then next one we have our u for our there's a bug on your ear. Okay, you see a bug. So it's like a shape of the ear, but there will be an interjection on it. So let's try how to write this one, going down and here. Okay, so from here now, you will see the characters. Let's add for this additional hiragana here. Now, let's go for our first word, uchi, for our home. Then we have our ude for arm. Then up is for our ue. Then let's have our cow. We have our ushi. And our horse for uma, and our ume for our plum here. Now, let's go with our next character we have for our eggs, like an elf fixing some ornaments in the tree. Okay, so this one, it has only 2 strokes, like the same with our u. Okay, so you don't lift your pen on here. So it's only 2 strokes. So let's get some words. The first word that we have is our eki, is for our station. Okay? So that is for eki. Next word is we have for our mae, for our pond. Third is we have our eh. This is our plain form. Instead of saying hi, we say eh. Then our money currency yen, and we have then haen for fly, and ebi burger, ebi for our shrimp. Then our last vowel we have for our o. Okay, we can remember that those are whole. So this is composed of 3 strokes from this one. Sure. And we have our floating stroke here. Okay, so these are the following words that we can remember for our o. Let's go with our first word now. We have our kao for our face. So there's also a soap named cow. Then second is we have our oki. So if you will see the big cat. And the third one we have ohashi. Ohashi. So o is also a form for honorific. Then okashi for our snacks. Then we have our agyo. So now we already composed our agyo. So what are those again? We have our a, i, u, e, o. In Japanese, they are actually used for our conjugation part. So as for negative, P for polite, U for our plain, then N for potential, then our O for our possession. Now, let's have to meet in Japanese, okay? So for example, using these vowels, we can use them for the conjugation. So let's say you have to say in Japanese, to not meet in plain, to meet in our polite form, to meet in a plain form, can meet in a polite form, then let's meet in our plain form. Okay. So how are we going to say that using the conjugation that we have here? So now, let's go with our first word of using that. In Japanese, to me is aimasu. Okay. But instead of using that for polite, instead of using the aimasu, we're gonna change that instead to ao. So we will drop mas, then change I to u. So we will just add u. So they have the same meaning. Then for our aimasen, to make it a negative, sen, but to make it plain, we just change masen to 19. Then for aeru, okay, or aemas, aemas is for our polite of to meet. It means I can meet you. Aemas. Then let's meet, instead of saying aemasho, it will change now the aemasho to ao. So we delete this one and here. So we have awanai, aimas, ao, aemas, and ao. Then that is our lesson for today. For more lessons, you can visit my channel, Digital Japanese Class Satoshi Tejuri, and you can find a lot of interesting lessons there. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. Arigatou gozaimashita.